I want to ask you something about your motivation. Not what you tell people your motivation is, what it actually is.
When you are working towards something, improving a skill, building a career, developing yourself, who are you doing it for?
For yourself, genuinely. For the person you want to become, for the life you actually want to build.
Or, at least partly, for someone else, for the person who doubted you, for the audience that watches your progress, for the proof that you were right and they were wrong.
Both feel like motivation. Both produce effort. Both look like growth from the outside.
But they produce completely different results and different costs.
The first, improving for yourself. It builds something that compounds, that grows, that produces genuine capability and genuine satisfaction.
The second, proving to others, it is a race that never ends. Because the finish line keeps moving. Because validation from external sources is never permanently sufficient.
And the person who spends their energy proving rather than improving, they work just as hard, often harder.
And they arrive at a destination that does not feel like the one they were working toward.
Today, we learn to tell the difference and to redirect the proving energy where it belongs, into improving.
Stay with us. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak Unstoppable, the podcast where we help you speak English naturally and confidently through real, honest conversations.
I'm John.
And I'm Maria. So happy you're here with us today.
B1 to B2 level English. And before we go further, please subscribe to Speak Unstoppable right now. One tap. We release new episodes every week, content that grows your English and your thinking simultaneously. Do not miss them.
Subscribed? Good. Now, let's talk about one of the most important distinctions in any growth journey.
How are you feeling today, John?
Again, that is you.
Genuinely improving, not proving, which is very on theme.
Thank you for being here. Let's go. Okay. Two people. Same starting point. Same amount of talent. Same level of ambition.
Person 1 works to improve. Their standard is internal. Their measure of progress is, am I better than I was? Am I genuinely developing the capability I want?
Person 2 works to prove. Their standard is external. Their measure of progress is, do they see it? Do the people who doubted me recognize what I have built?
Both work hard. Both are motivated. Both put in real effort.
But person 1, their energy is directed at genuine development, at the actual growth, at becoming someone who can do more, know more, be more.
Person 2, their energy is split. Some goes to genuine development. Some goes to the performance of development, to making sure the development is visible to the right people.
And over time, the split costs person 2, not in visible effort, but in the quality of what the effort produces.
Because improvement and proving, though they look similar from the outside, they require different things from the inside.
And the person who learns to tell them apart and to direct their energy deliberately, they build something genuinely better than the person who mixes them without awareness.
Today, that awareness begins. Let's name the proving patterns specifically. Because they are so embedded in motivated, ambitious people, they almost never get examined.
Proving pattern 1. Working for the doubter.
There is a specific person, or category of person in most people's lives who expressed doubt about their capability, their potential, their right to attempt something.
And a significant portion of the effort that followed, the hard work, the long hours, the sustained ambition, it is directed at proving that person wrong.
And this feels like purpose. It feels like fuel. I will show them. It produces genuine energy and genuine effort.
But it is directed at a person, not at a goal. And when the person is gone, when they have seen the proof, or when they are no longer paying attention, the motivation often collapses.
Because it was never about the destination. It was about being seen arriving.
Proving pattern 2. Performing progress.
This is when the announcement of the goal becomes as important as the achievement of it. When sharing the process publicly, on social media, in conversations, in professional networks, is as much of the work as the actual development.
And there is nothing inherently wrong with sharing progress. But when the sharing starts to take energy from the doing, when managing the audience becomes as effortful as developing the skill,
something has shifted from improving to proving, from building for yourself to performing for others.
Proving pattern 3. Chasing credentials over capability.
Collecting certificates, titles, degrees, recognitions as proof of capability rather than as the result of genuine capability development.
The credential that is pursued because it represents something genuinely learned is valuable. The credential pursued primarily because it provides external validation of worth.
That is proving, and its value, as proof, is permanent. As evidence of actual capability, it depends entirely on whether the learning actually happened behind it.
Okay, we have named the patterns. Now, let's understand why proving, even when it succeeds, never produces the satisfaction it promises.
Because proving is by nature reactive. It responds to someone else's doubt, someone else's standard, someone else's definition of what counts as proof.
And the person who sets those standards, they are not obligated to be satisfied. They can always raise the bar. They can always find another reason the proof is insufficient.
And even when they are satisfied, even when they acknowledge the achievement, the satisfaction lasts for approximately as long as the acknowledgement. And then the need returns.
Because the need that proving is trying to satisfy, the need to be seen as enough, as capable, as worthy, it is an internal need, dressed in external clothing.
And internal needs, answered with external solutions, they are never permanently resolved.
The person who needs to feel worthy, who is trying to feel worthy through external proof, they will need more proof. After every proof. Because the need is not about the proof.
And this is why the most successful provers, the people who achieve every credential, every recognition, every external marker of success, can still feel the same internal insufficiency they were trying to prove away.
Because they answered the wrong question. They proved capability to others. But they never built genuine confidence in themselves.
And genuine confidence, the kind that does not require constant external validation, it is not built through proving. It is built through improving, through the accumulated evidence of genuine development. The kind only you can see from the inside. Okay. If proving is the trap, what does genuine improving look like?
5 specific characteristics. and each one, it distinguishes improvement from proving clearly.
Characteristic 1. The standard is internal.
The genuine improver measures their progress against their own previous performance, not against others, not against what others can see, against where they were before.
Am I better than I was 6 months ago? Can I do something now that I could not do then? Has my understanding genuinely deepened?
These questions, answered honestly, produce the only measurement that matters for genuine improvement.
Characteristic 2. The work is done whether or not it is visible.
The genuine improver does the work in private, in the quiet sessions that no one sees, in the deliberate practice that produces no shareable content.
Because the work is for the capability, not for the audience of the capability.
Characteristic 3. Failure is information, not catastrophe.
The prover, when they fail, is devastated. Because failure is public. Because failure disproves the proof they were building.
The improver, when they fail, is interested. Because failure reveals exactly where the gap is, exactly what needs more development, exactly where the next improvement lives.
Characteristic 4. The satisfaction is intrinsic.
Intrinsic means coming from within, not dependent on external recognition.
The genuine improver feels the satisfaction of having genuinely developed something, of having built a real capability, of being, now, able to do something they could not do before.
And this satisfaction does not require an audience. It is present whether or not anyone else sees it.
Characteristic 5. The direction comes from genuine goals.
The genuine improver knows what they are working toward, specifically, genuinely, and why.
Not because it will impress someone, not because it will prove a doubter wrong, but because it is aligned with the life they actually want to build.
And this genuine directedness, this work toward a genuinely chosen destination, it produces the most efficient improvement available. Because nothing is wasted on performance.
Okay, practical. Because most people who are proving, they are not doing it consciously. They do not know they are doing it, and they cannot stop what they have not named.
So the first step, name it.
When you feel particularly motivated to work, ask, who am I working for right now? Who am I imagining as the audience for this effort?
If the honest answer includes a specific person whose validation you are seeking, you are proving. Not necessarily entirely, but partially.
And the redirect is simple. Not easy. Simple.
Ask, what would I be doing if that person's opinion were irrelevant? What would I be building if no one were watching?
And then do that. Build that for yourself without the performance layer.
And over time, with practice, the proving energy redirects into improving energy, into genuine development that compounds. That produces real capability. That builds the internal confidence that proving was always chasing and never finding.
The English practice version, and this is for every listener here, ask yourself regularly, am I practicing English to genuinely improve? Or am I consuming English content to feel productive, to prove to myself that I am the kind of person who studies English, without doing the uncomfortable work of actually producing it?
The genuine improver speaks before they are ready, attempts before they feel confident, makes mistakes in real situations because those mistakes are information, not evidence of unworthiness.
The prover waits. For readiness. For confidence. For the conditions that will make the attempt safe from failure.
And the conditions never come. Because readiness is built through the uncomfortable attempts, not through waiting for it. Real English phrases. For talking about genuine growth and for recognizing when proving has crept in.
Category 1. Recognizing the proving pattern.
I've noticed I'm working toward this partly to prove something to someone. That's not the most useful motivation.
I'm going to ask myself, what would I do if no one were watching? And then do that.
The proving energy is real, but I'm going to redirect it into the genuine improvement. That's where it actually pays off.
Category 2. Describing genuine improvement.
My standard is my own previous performance, not what anyone else is doing.
I'm building this for myself, not for the audience. The capability is what matters.
I'm working on this in private, where the real development happens. The results will speak when they're ready.
Category 3. Talking about this distinction with others.
There's a difference between improving and proving. I'm trying to stay in the improving category.
I used to work partly to prove something. I'm learning to work for the development itself, and the difference in how it feels is significant.
The most productive thing I can do is ignore the audience and focus on the work. The work produces the results. The audience produces the performance.
Can I say something about what this is really about? At the deepest level?
Please.
Proving is the work of someone who does not yet believe in their own worth, who is trying to build that belief through external evidence, through someone else's acknowledgement.
And improving is the work of someone who has decided or is deciding that their worth is not on trial, that their work is for the development of genuine capability, not for the case they are building about themselves.
And the shift from proving to improving, it is one of the most liberating shifts a person can make.
Because you stop working for the validation. And you start working for the growth.
And growth, genuine growth, it compounds. It builds on itself. It produces capability that no external validation could have given you.
And the irony, the productive irony, is that people who shift to genuine improvement almost always receive more external recognition than people who were chasing it.
Because genuine capability, built for its own sake, without the performance layer, it is visible. It has a quality that performed development does not.
And people respond to that quality, not because they were supposed to, because genuine development speaks in a way that performance cannot replicate.
Remember this. Stop building a case for your worth. Start building actual capability. The capability is what changes your life. The case never does.
One time. Clearly.
Stop building a case for your worth. Start building actual capability. The capability is what changes your life.
Word tour time.
Word 1. Intrinsic. Coming from within, not dependent on external sources. Internal. Example 1. The satisfaction she felt was intrinsic. It did not depend on anyone seeing it or acknowledging it. Example 2. Build intrinsic motivation for English. Genuine interest in the language itself, not just the credential it produces. Intrinsic motivation lasts. External motivation fades.
Word 2. Reactive. Responding to external events rather than directing from internal goals. Driven by others' actions rather than own intention. Example 1. Proving is reactive by nature. It responds to someone else's doubt rather than pursuing a genuinely chosen goal. Example 2. Reactive English practice. Studying what appears, consuming what is easy, avoiding what is difficult, produces reactive results. Deliberate practice produces deliberate improvement.
Word 3. Credential. An official qualification, certificate, or recognition of achievement. Example 1. She was collecting credentials that proved capabilities she had not yet genuinely developed, and the gap between what she could show and what she could do was widening. Example 2. English credentials, IELTS, TOEFL, language certificates. They are valuable when they represent genuine capability. They are proving tools when pursued primarily for external validation.
Word 4. Compound. To grow on top of itself. Each gain building on the last and producing more. Example 1. Genuine improvement compounds. Real capability makes further capability easier to develop. Example 2. Compounding English improvement requires daily production, speaking, writing, engaging actively. Passive exposure does not compound at the same rate.
Word 5. Irrelevant. Not connected to or relevant to the matter in hand. Not important in a particular context. Example 1. She asked what she would do if the doubter's opinion were irrelevant, and the answer revealed her genuine direction. Example 2. When other people's English judgments become irrelevant to your practice, when you are genuinely practicing for development rather than for approval, your improvement accelerates.
Word 6. Replicate. To reproduce exactly, to copy or duplicate. Example 1. Genuine capability has a quality that performance cannot replicate, and people recognize the difference. Example 2. You cannot replicate English fluency through memorization alone. Fluency is built through genuine production, using the language to communicate real things in real situations.
One thing this week.
Ask the question, honestly, in writing, for one area of your life where you are working hard right now.
The question, who am I working for? And what would I do if their opinion were irrelevant?
Write the honest answer. And then redirect 1 hour of effort this week from the proving version to the improving version.
Here is your sentence template.
I have been partly working to prove ... The genuine improvement I want, independent of any audience, is ... And this week, I am going to direct my effort there.
Say it out loud. With your real situation.
I have been partly working to prove ... The genuine improvement I want is ... And this week, I am directing my effort there.
Mean it. And then do it. Comment challenge.
One honest question. Is there something you have been proving rather than improving? And what would the pure improvement look like?
Right. I have been partly proving ... The genuine improvement, without the audience, would be ...
Write it. In English. In the comments. Honestly,
We read every comment.
please give this a like.
Subscribe to Speak Unstoppable.
Thank you for being here.
Stop building a case for your worth.
Start building actual capability.
The capability changes your life.
The case never does.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.